What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. In this video, we're gonna go through the 20 things that you need to do to get your Pixel 6 and 6 Pro up and running to its optimal best. So with that said, let's jump into this video. First thing we're gonna do is go into the camera. Why? Because the camera is one of the most important things about this phone. It's the most impressive things about this phone, and why not? So let's open up your camera real quick. And what you want to do is a couple things in here that we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to video. Once we're in video here, you're going to click this downward pointing arrow top here on the left. You want this where it says resolution, set it to 4K. You want 4K because you want 4K video across the board. 4K is the highest resolution this does, and it looks the best. And just think, over time, you're going to want to see your videos and photos and everything like that look better and better. So make sure that you do that, turn that on to 4K. You can do 30 or 60 frames on the back camera. I would say just set it to 30. It's gonna help not only with the prolonging the battery life and all that stuff. I will admit, I like 4K 60 better, but 4K 30 overall works better in terms of low light. It works better in terms of the file size being a little bit smaller. And ultimately, it's the same resolution as 4K 60. It just means it's a little bit smoother if it's 4K 60. Switch to the front camera now, and you're on video again. Go back here and make sure, if it didn't already change it to, make sure it's at 4K 30 as well. You can't do 60 on the front, so 4K 30. And then after that, go to camera. Click this downward arrow here. And there's some other stuff you could turn on. Some of this stuff should be automatic, like night light should be automatic. If you want to do a timer, of all that, but ultimately all that stuff's gonna be kind of set the same way. And the next thing you wanna do is press and hold on a blank spot in your home screen and go into home settings. Now, a lot of this stuff, again, should already be turned on. If it's not, I would recommend setting it the way I have it. Notifications on, at a glance on, and actually on at a glance, you want all this stuff turned on as well. I would recommend it. It's basically gonna show you anything that you have coming up in your emails and things like that, calendar events, stuff like that. All this stuff will show up right here at the top if you have anything coming up. You can see I have a reminder to edit my Nintendo video, so I have that in there. We're gonna go right back into home screen settings again, or home settings, I should say. I'm gonna take a step back, swipe to access Google app. That is this right here. That's where you see all like your Google News and stuff like that. I recommend keeping that on. It's a delight to have. It makes it enjoyable to use your phone, so I'd recommend keeping that. Overview suggestions, keep that on. Suggestions for all apps and home screens. Search your phone, have all this stuff on. What that means is when you go to view all your apps, up here, you can search, and it'll search everything on your phone. If you're coming from an iPhone, you'll be very familiar with that. What that means is that you can find people's phone numbers or anything you can think of search-wise, and that's on your phone. Go back to your home screen, press and hold there, and go to wallpaper and style. This is where you can easily change your wallpaper to either something that they have or something that you like. But what's cool about here is I would recommend doing this, not only dark theme, because you're gonna get better battery life, but it's also easier on your eyes. So it makes all these backgrounds black and like all this stuff kind of black, easier on your eyes, like I said. But also turned on themed icons. When you turn that on, whatever your wallpaper is, it will style your stuff against your wallpaper, so it matches and you don't even have to really think about stuff. It also styles these things too, your quick toggles, and it looks really cool. So I can change this, and you can see it gives you a little preview of what it's gonna look like, so you can check on it before you even do it if you want. I like the green, it really pops. But again, your colors will probably be different based off whatever your wallpaper looks like. It's really, really cool. Next, let's go into settings. So swipe down from the top and go into settings right here. Once you're in settings here, what we're gonna go into next is network and internet. Tap on internet, go to the bottom here, and you're gonna see network preferences. Notify for public networks, turn that off. It's one of the most annoying things on Android phones, and I think Apple has it turned on too by default, maybe they don't. It's so annoying. Basically, it's going to turn off the fact that whenever you're in public, have it be walking around your neighborhood, at an airport, at a coffee shop, whatever, it's gonna stop those alerts coming to your phone that tell you that there's an open Wi-Fi network. The way I look at it, it stops that annoyance, and if you really want Wi-Fi that bad, you can search for it yourself under the Wi-Fi, so I would turn that off. I would turn this on, turn on Wi-Fi automatically. Wi-Fi will turn back on near high quality saved networks like your home network. So maybe you went to the car and you're like, I just turn off my Wi-Fi for whatever reason. When you get home, it'll automatically turn on and connect to your Wi-Fi. I think that's a smart thing to turn on. Going back into the main screen of settings, the next thing we want to do is go into apps. And there's a couple things in here that we want to check on. Default apps. If you want to change any of your default apps, such as your browser app, your call directing app, your caller ID spam app, any of that stuff, you can come in here and choose it so that it's all situated for you the way that you like it if you want it to be set up. So maybe you don't want your browser app to be Firefox, you want it to be either a Samsung Internet app or Firefox or some other app, you're able to just click on it and do that same thing with your messages, all that stuff. So I just come in here and set it the way you like if you need to. Game settings, if you're a big gamer on your phone, there's a couple settings in here. You can show your game dashboard shortcut in games. Also, you can do not disturb for games, so only get notified by important people and apps when playing a game. So you can turn that on and being only interrupted by important things. Let's go into assistant, and there's a couple things that you can come in here and turn on. Here's the, I'm not gonna say it because it's gonna activate everyone's, but I would have that turned on, definitely. So turn it on there if it's not already on. Quick phrases, I'd turn these both on because basically when incoming calls come or alerts or timers are, you don't have to say the keyword, which would be right there. Again, I don't want to say it. You can just say stop or snooze or answer or decline. So it's kind of cool and a little bit more helpful. The other ones are continued conversation, ask follow-up questions without reactivating your assistant with the blank blank or other methods. Go back to the main settings button and we're going to go into battery next. Turn on battery percentage. It's going to show you battery percentage at the top right. Very recommended. Makes your life a little bit more enjoyable, I feel like. So why not definitely turn that on. Main screen of settings, again, go into sounds and vibration. Not only can you control all your volumes and things like that, but you have your ringtones. Come in here, click on it, find the ringtone you want, and then you're good to go. Same thing with the default notification sound. You can see I have Eureka sound selected, but I can choose some other ones as well if I want. I have it on do not disturb, so that's why it's not letting you hear anything, but ultimately you can change. I would recommend to come in here and choose the sounds you want. These other ones, I would recommend turning them off. Do you really need to hear your dial pad sounds? Do you really need to hear screen locking sound, your charging sounds and vibrations, your touch sounds? I turn all that stuff off. I think it's kind of gets in the way of using the phone, especially in quiet environments, such as going to bed or something like that. So I'd recommend, again, going in there and changing that. Also, the other things I wanted to tell you to turn on, or potentially live caption. This will totally caption your screen. So anytime you're basically watching a video or something, it's going to show captions and say what the video is saying. It's going to translate that for you. Not translate, but it's going to give you the wordings to the videos and stuff in case you can't understand or you just like having captions on. Now playing, this is a really cool one. Turn this one on, and what this does is allows you to hear whatever music it's heard recently. It'll tell you, and you can see I had my phone down nearby and it's telling me some songs that it noticed that I played or that were playing around me, and I can go in there and say like, oh, I like this Judy song by Fozzy. I can tap on it, and then at the bottom go to the music app I want to listen to it and add it to my playlists. Back to the main screen of settings. Next you want to go into display. Display, you can change your brightness levels. Adaptive brightness will be like when it's light or dark, it'll automatically change the brightness for you. Also under display, you got screen timeout. I think 2 minutes is the perfect one, so I would turn that on. Also this bottom one, prevents your screen from turning off if you're looking at it. I would turn that on. I think that's a helpful feature to have. Some other ones, again, here's dark theme again. If you didn't turn it on already or you don't want it on, you can turn it on and off right there. This is where you can change your display size and font size. If you have bad eyesight, like myself, it's not so great anymore. You can change your fonts to be larger or extra large or really any size that you want. Colors, I set them to boosted. It gives you the most pop, so that's why I choose boosted. Smooth display, this should automatically turn on, but keep it on. Makes your display ultra smooth. You definitely want this on to get the best experience with your Pixel phone. Go into security next. Under security, if you didn't already, there's a couple things that you want to do on here. You want to make sure Find My Device is automatically turned on so that you can easily find your device from a computer or another phone that you have from Google to beep it. So if you lost your phone in your house, you can go onto your computer and log into the website, the security website for Google, and beep your phone even if the ringer is off, and you can see it on a map. The other one's screen lock. I set to a pattern. I like that better than putting in a key code. Fingerprint unlock, make sure you turn that on. That's going to allow you to unlock your phone with your fingerprint. Safety and emergency, this is a big one, guys. Come in here if you want. You can open up your medical information, your emergency contacts, SOS, your car crash detection. So if you get in a car crash, it'll automatically, tell you about a car crash. It'll tell your significant others if you got in a car crash and call 911. If you don't respond to the phone. Crisis alerts, come in here, turn this on. This is going to use your device's location to find info about crises affecting your area when the app is closed or not in use. Keep in mind, Pixel may not notify you about all public emergencies, but it is cool to keep on. I'd recommend turn that on. Emergency location service, turn that on. Earthquake alerts, turn them on, guys. And your wireless emergency alerts, turn all these on as well. Why not? I don't need the tests, but otherwise I'd keep those on. Let's go into system next. And under system, there is one in here. I'm gonna go into gestures first. So you have a couple in here that you can turn on. So you have quick tap. So if you want, you can double tap the back of the screen and it'll take a screenshot if you turn that on. Otherwise, you can access your assistant. You can play, pause your media. You can see recent apps, show notifications, open a specific app if you want. These other ones, again, I would keep them on. Quickly open cameras. When you double press the power button, your camera will automatically open. Flip camera for selfie, turn that on. System navigations, I have them set to gestures, but you can use 3 buttons down here. If you use used to the back button, the home button, recent apps button, you can go back to those quickly right there. Tap to check your phone. So basically when you tap your phone, it'll turn the screen on. Same thing with lift to wake. You can flip it over to shush it if you want. You also have one-handed mode, which I'm not huge on. Press and hold power button, come in here. And you can have it either do your assistant or press and hold it and it'll bring up your power and emergency menu. You can press the power and volume key at the same time as well if you want to turn it off. But I would recommend just turn it off, hold for assistant, and just press and hold the power button to bring up your power menu. I think that's more important and more useful. Next couple things you want to do are just things that are super important. The first one is the Google Messages app. Open that up, hit the 3 dots in the top right, go into settings. From here, click on chat features. Under chat features, you're gonna have an on-off switch. Turn it on to enable chat features. This is gonna give you you might call it the iMessage of Android. Allows you to send bigger pictures, check on read receipts if they read your message, leave a group chat if everyone's signed up for this. So definitely turn this on. The next one is go into the YouTube app, tap the top right here, and go into settings. Under settings, you want to go into video quality preferences. I would recommend doing this. I wouldn't do auto. I would do high picture quality. Uses more data. You don't have the option to just choose 4K, unfortunately. So your best option would be higher picture quality. Also with video quality on Wi-Fi, I would do higher picture quality. Next one, go into Spotify. Hit the gear in the top right. Once you're in settings, what you want to do is you want to go down and you want to make sure that the following are completely turned up because you want the best quality. You pay for this, why not? Wi-Fi streaming, very high. Cellular streaming, very high. Auto adjust quality, recommended on. I would turn it off. And download quality, very high. And there you guys go. Those are my first 20 must things to do for the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. Take advantage of it now. It's a fantastic phone. I'll link it down below if you want to pick one up. And we'll see you guys down the road.